Hello, everyone. Welcome to JLL's 2016 Q4 IBM TRIRIGA Users Group. We're happy you could join us today for our session. We're looking forward to a great lineup today. Let's take a look at our agenda. As you can see, today is going to be full of value-driven information shared with you from an all-star cast. We'll open with a review of TRIRIGA's releases from 2016 and newest releases currently rolling out. We'll recap the TriMax Users Conference that recently took place in Arlington, Virginia. Next, we'll move into two sections of the session focused on foundational reporting and BI for TRIRIGA, and by introducing you to JLL's RED and OSIS technology tools. Finally, we'll close with a look at upcoming TRIRIGA training sessions hosted by JLL Tech Solutions, as well as some end-of-year special opportunities that you may not want to miss. As I mentioned before, we have a great group of presenters today. Troy Hergenrader is the Managing Director of the IBM TRIRIGA practice. Chris Ellis is the Director of TRIRIGA Technical Services, and Travis McChesney is a TRIRIGA Solution Consulting Director. As a reminder, if you have any questions throughout today's session, please use the WebEx Q&A or chat features to log your questions, and we'll try our best to get to them. Now I'll turn it over to Chris Ellis to dive into today's virtual users group.
Great, thanks, Nicole. So I wanted to first talk about kind of a recap of everything that's come out this year. Basically, this is a section I wanted to show the new release, but I also wanted to recap what we talked about back in June on the meeting, the virtual user group meeting from June. So it'll be a quick overview, but for those of you that could not make it, it should be some good information. So first thing is I wanted to talk about supported versions, what's got end of service, and what's no longer supported. This is actually out on the IBM TRIRIGA wiki, so you can actually go there and look at the details. But this is just to bring to light the versions in case you're actually running something that may be end of service soon. And then next, I wanted to bring to light the different fix packs that have come out this year. I showed this back in June, but there have been some new fix packs released since then. There's been a new fix pack 5.4342, and then, of course, in June 3.51 was released, so there's been two new fix packs for that release. You can actually go to Fix Central and not only download the fix packs, but you can also download the release notes that give the detailed fixes within each of those. So next, a couple slides are just a recap again, like I said, of the releases prior to the one coming out next week. A year ago, this time last year, we had the 3.5 release, which was a major release, which brought us the UX framework for perceptive applications. Of course, the initial release only had space assessment and space management applications, but they set the foundation for the new UX framework and what we could see coming from it. It also set the foundation for the new lease accounting enhancements for the FASB standards. There were some other changes around, installer and platform technology. Another major change would be the new look and feel as far as the UI. And then there were some new reporting features that was added for tracking the user load and the license usage in the system. And then in June, we had a 3.51, 10.51 that released, and it had updates to lease accounting. It had some technology updates for CAD Integrator and for Revit. And then they actually brought us some major changes around the builder tools for object revisions and labeling. They also updated the Gantt chart. Instead of being a Java applet, it is now a HTML-based interface that is not restricted by the actual browser and the Java applets and JRE. Then there were some other enhancements, but again, I'm not going to go into great detail. At the end, I will summarize kind of what are some major standouts as far as enhancements. So let's dive into what's coming out next week. So 10.52 and 3.52 is scheduled to release next Friday the 16th. and within that release, from at least looking at the beta, so I've gotten draft copies of the release notes and the compatibility matrix. I've actually even installed the beta, and I've looked at it and reviewed some of these things that have been changed. So pretty much from what I've seen, what I'm showing you and listing out here on the next few slides is actually in the release that is coming out next week. So again, they've continued to enhance the lease accounting. There aren't a lot of other application other than Perceptive Apps announcements as far as enhancements that have been made to applications. And the release notes do have some changes in there. A lot of it's around lease accounting. But until next Friday, we won't know a complete list of the application changes. So the most of what I'm going to be talking about or listing here are the platform changes, technology changes. So second on the list here is the applet remediation project that they've been working on to get rid of all the JRA or the Java applets for the requirement for JRE. And I know a lot of us have issues with the JRE and the different versions, and when you update the platform, it requires a different version and whatnot. So this is going to be very helpful, so I think, to a lot of customers. And the image at the top on the right is the actual new availability section that comes with 352. And the image below that is the last bullet, which is the new License Manager Matrix view. I think everybody will enjoy this. I think it's a topic of conversation that comes up a lot, or a question. There used to be reports that would work, or, or could be trouble sometimes to run. But now they actually put it into the License Manager. So you can actually get this matrix view and see what objects a license enables and what objects a user has access to. That's a nice new feature. And then a couple other bullets here that I'd